Most people think they know who Raleigh is. They see the wild swings, the polarizing interviews, and the highlight reel knockouts. But the truth is, the world has only seen the surface of the storm. While the public is focused on the awkward fighter, Romero has been quietly building something far more calculated, a lifestyle empire. As of 2026, his net worth has surged to over $8 million. And that empire doesn't just exist on paper. It screams. It moves through the neon-soaked streets of Las Vegas behind the wheel of a Lamborghini. A loud, visceral reminder that this is no longer just a contender. This is a brand in motion. In this video, we're going inside the kingdom he commands, the high-stakes deals, the luxury assets, and a heavy price paid for total, unapologetic dominance. Before we dive into the rise, the roar, and the raw energy of Rolando Romero, smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. To understand the origin of that fire, you have to look at the neon heart of Las Vegas, where Raleigh was born on October 14th, 1995. He didn't have the polished pedigree of a typical boxing star. No Olympic medals or carefully crafted amateur rise. When he turned pro on December 2nd, 2016, it wasn't with fanfare, it was with fists. That night at Sam's Town Hotel in Nevada, he bulldozed David Courtney in the first round, a performance that lacked grace but overflowed with destructive intent. Over the next 3 years, he tore through opponents, racking up knockout after knockout. He flattened Andres Figueroa with a brutal fourth-round knockout on a Danny Garcia undercard and followed it with a series of statement fights, including a second-round TKO of the undefeated Arturas Amatovs under the bright lights of Wilder vs. Fury 2. He wasn't just rising. He was mauling his way through the rankings, proving that raw strength could often override refined skill. In 2020, he captured the WBA interim lightweight belt against Jackson Mariñez, but the victory was overshadowed by a decision many fans called a robbery. Raleigh didn't blink. He understood that in the theater of boxing, the result in the books matters more than the opinion in the stands. His career continued to bend toward tension and high-stakes drama until it hit the ultimate breaking point. Against Gervonta Davis in 2022, it wasn't just a fight. It was a statement. Confidence versus precision. Chaos versus control. For moments, it looked like Raleigh might shock the world as he led with his unconventional angles. But then, one shot changed everything. A perfectly timed counter from Davis erased the chaos instantly, dropping Romero and handing him the first real doubt of his career. The critics didn't just question him. They wrote him off, celebrating as if the Chaos King had finally been exposed as a fraud. But Raleigh thrives in the dark. He took that humiliation and used it as a masterclass in resilience. He faced more turbulence against Ismael Barroso, winning a controversial TKO before losing his belt to the relentless pressure of Isaac Pitbull Cruz in early 2024. But on September 14th, 2024, he stepped back in with Manuel James for a disciplined win, proving to the world he could be controlled, focused, and tactically sound when the situation demanded it. Then came the biggest surprise of all. On May 2nd, 2025, in the middle of a packed Times Square, he faced Ryan Garcia for the vacant WBA welterweight title. Few experts gave him a shot, expecting the Chaos King to crumble under Garcia's lightning speed. But for 10 electric rounds, Raleigh delivered a masterclass in timing and psychological warfare, neutralizing Garcia's left hook and earning a unanimous decision that echoed through the canyons of Manhattan. He had officially turned controversy into currency, becoming a 3-division world champion and proving that his awkward style wasn't just a quirk. It was a weapon that could dismantle the sport's elite. And just when the world thought they finally figured him out, they realized they hadn't figured him out all. With the title secured, his lifestyle has shifted to match his status as a Vegas icon. Cruising down the Vegas Strip in a candy-red Lamborghini, iced-out chains catching neon lights. He lives fast, fights harder, and cashes every check with unapologetic swagger. His Las Vegas mansion, a modern masterpiece valued at over $2 million, isn't just luxury. It's an architectural fortress. featuring soaring floor-to-ceiling windows that offer a panoramic view of the Nevada mountains and an infinity-edge pool that seems to spill directly into the desert sunset. The interior is built for a king who never stops training. It features a high-tech in-house gym and a recovery suite that rivals professional facilities. For entertainment, Raleigh retreats to his custom state-of-the-art home theater. It is proof that chaos can build something permanent and serene. Outside, the fortress continues into the garage, a gallery of raw horsepower where every vehicle reflects a facet of his personality. For high-speed luxury, he favors his $250,000 Bentley Continental GT, a beast of a car that hides a twin-turbocharged engine. It's the ultimate balance of high-class status and hidden aggression. When he wants something sharper, he jumps into his BMW M4, a precision machine draped in a custom matte wrap, featuring carbon fiber accents and a roar that echoes off the Vegas Canyon walls. But Raleigh is also a student of the culture, famous for his custom green Chevy lowrider piece with hydraulic suspension and intricate chrome detailing, serving as a rolling nod to his Cuban-American roots. And for those days when he wants to feel untouchable, there's the Mercedes G-Wagon, boxy titan of the road that sits high on custom rims, commanding the lane with the same presence Raleigh commands the ring. Combined with a rotation of iced-out Rolexes and Audemars Piguet watches, it's a fleet that says he's arrived, and he's driving exactly how he wants. Behind the trash talk is the version of Raleigh the world rarely sees, the shrewd strategist with a specific money mindset. Sponsored by Nike, Everlast, and Hublet, he's moved beyond the ring into diversified business ventures, investing in a signature energy drink and quietly stacking Las Vegas real estate, rental units, and long-term holds. He's setting himself up for a life beyond the ropes, treating his wealth as a fortress for his future. As the lights dim on the arena, Raleigh transforms into a man defined by a much quieter reality. While he keeps his romantic life guarded and away from the toxic glare of social media, he has become open about the anchors that ground him. Devon, his daughter. She is the only person Raleigh has ever let into the spotlight without hesitation or a mask. The same hands that knock people out are the ones he uses to hold his daughter. In those moments, he isn't the showman or the trash talker. He's just a dad trying to ensure his little girl has a life of security and pride. Yet, this empire hasn't been built without turbulence. Raleigh's career has been a lightning rod for controversy, both professional and personal. The allegations made headlines, but no charges were ever filed. From those investigations in 2021 to his polarizing post-fight interviews that have drawn fines from athletic commissions, he lives on the razor's edge of the acceptable. He understands that in the digital age, attention is the ultimate commodity. Being hated is just as profitable as being loved, as long as people are paying to watch. But there is a redemptive side to the Chaos King that rarely makes the highlight reels. He has used his platform to quietly fund youth boxing programs in inner-city Las Vegas, providing equipment and mentorship for kids who are looking for a way out of the struggle. For Raleigh, philanthropy isn't a PR stunt. It's a way to pay back the city that allowed a wild kid with heavy hands to become a multimillionaire. The mansions, the Lamborghini, and the 3 world titles are all reflections of a mindset that refuses to settle for the status quo. Now that the empire is built and the belts are won, the future stakes are higher than ever before. With names like Devin Haney and Terence Crawford circling the division, the Chaos King is once again entering the doubt loop. Critics are already predicting his downfall, yet that is exactly where he finds his greatest strength. What happens to a fighter built in the fire when the flames start to die down? He finds a new way to burn. The answer will define not just the next round, but the entire legacy of boxing's greatest disruptor. Because one thing about chaos, you can't control it. You can only survive it. Before you go, don't miss out on exclusive perks. Click the link in the description to become a channel member. And if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, drop a comment, and subscribe for more deep dives into the lives of the elite. And while you're here, check out our deep dive into the Felix Trinidad story. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.